Check. Hello. Hello. This is the Negro Exciting News Fun Show, and I'm your host, DJ Motherfucking S. Yeah. So what we're going to talk about tonight, we're going to talk about, Obsidian's comments about, niggers being park apes and destroying everything in their path. So I was listening to the O'Shea Juke Jackson show, and his special guest was Obsidian, and I heard this dude's name before. In the past, Obsidian was like the topic of debate last year, 2018. Yeah, but I tuned into this Obsidian, and he's a very good talker, very passionate talker. He's really, really, really good. Yeah. So I was listening to this debate yesterday. So Obsidian was saying everywhere he goes, niggers, black people mashing up everything in their path. Yeah. He said, like, if you go to the cinema, the place is filthy, it's dirty, there's trash everywhere. And then at the end of the movie, they have to shoot up the fucking goddamn screen. Yeah. Then he was saying there was some place, I can't remember where it was, but there was some place that built the state of art basketball court and everything, yeah, to kind of spruce up the place and give the people, the occupants of the projects, the neighborhood, the flats, the apartment block, some hope, fix up the place. So within 6 months, within 6 months, the whole place was mashed up. Now, I mean, really, what's wrong? I mean, the question has to be: is what is wrong with black people? Yeah, what's wrong with black people? I mean, Obsidian said this, yeah, and O'Shea was laughing. And it's really funny because when O'Shea laughs, it makes me want to laugh. You know what I mean? Because he's hosting a very serious show. So when he starts laughing, and he takes off his headphones, he takes off his headphones and he disappears laughing. It's got to be a serious thing because O'Shea ain't got no time for bullshit. So when you see him doing that, it's serious, yeah. So it's like, the question is, what's wrong with black people? Why is it black people want to mash up everything? Now, my theory is we've been given this word nigger. And what is nigger? When you break down the word nigger, what does this word nigger mean? It means you're scum, you're trash, you're an idiot, you're the lowest of the low, you're incompetent, you're a nincompoop, you're an imbecile, yeah? You're a fucking wild animal, you're a monkey. So for you to accept this word, nigger, into your spirit and into your soul, once you accept that word and you say I'm a nigger and you really in all seriousness believe you're a nigger, that's the end result. Everywhere you go, you have to spoil everything. Yeah. Mash everything up. Yeah. And the black race is never gonna be able to progress when we have niggers around. Yeah. And what I've realized as life goes by is that you think that black people want to improve, black people want to better themselves, black people want to uplift their race, but the truth is that we don't. Yeah, that's what I've come to realize. Black people do not want to uplift themselves. Yeah, they want to fuck everything up, they want to destroy everything. They're so happy to be bathing and wallowing in this word nigger. Yeah. Now, why is that? Maybe because they're lazy. Maybe if you just accept being a nigger, you don't have to make any effort. Because I think certain people in the black community, they're very lazy. They don't want to do nothing. Yeah. They don't want to do nothing. They don't want to make any effort whatsoever. Yeah. They do anything they can to spoil everything and anything because it doesn't really take any effort. Yeah. Somebody starts talking about, oh, we can have a business, the business will expand, you'll have a shop, I'll have a shop, yeah, build up the neighborhood. Then you hear, yeah, That's what you'll hear. Or she might turn up the volume, you know, on the TV or the radio, just in general, just being very negative and never wanted to see anything progress. Yeah. So we have to keep them people away from you. If you want to make progress in your life, you need to keep them people away from you. Yeah. So, it's like, was Obsidian right? I think he's right. I mean, the interview, wow, there was two interviews. I mean, one was like 4 hours and the other one was 2 hours or something. I mean, that's very serious. Yeah. I mean, you can't dispute what Obsidian said, man. Black people do seem to want to just fuck everything up. Yeah. And so Obsidian was saying, he's glad about gentrification because the new people will clean the place up, keep it looking neat, keep it looking tidy, and build it up when niggas only want to bring everything down. I mean, like even this girl, yeah. I mean, what was this girl's name again? Um, Kanika Jenkins, yeah. When this poor girl died, yeah. I mean, her friends drove her car home. They told her mom some story. They don't know where she is. Yeah. At the end of everything, where that Kanika, she walked into a freezer because she was hot because she had taken drugs. So she walked into the freezer, big freezer, obviously. And unfortunately, the door locked behind her, whatever, and she died there. But then a video surfaced later where girls were her so-called friends with some girls were dancing, literally dancing on her gravesides. Or not on her graveside, on her actual grave. Yeah? I mean, I don't know what's wrong with black people. I really don't know. Yeah? Young girls were literally dancing on her grave. What for? Yeah? I mean, you don't see other races of people behaving like that. Yeah? Just always constantly behaving badly. Yeah? Like for instance, I was at a club, yeah? And then the security guy, the bouncer, whatever you want to call him, said to this girl, yeah, the club's finished. Do you mind leaving? So her two friends went. But for some reason, this sister decided she was not going to leave. Yeah. So the security guy spoke to her, black guy. Yeah. And she wouldn't leave. So he took the drink away from her and he put it on the counter. She turned back, got that drink or a different drink, and she threw it in his face. Yeah. So then the security guy got a drink and he started splashing it on her. You know what I mean? So it's like, then all the story came out. See, that's why they don't want black people in clubs in London. Yeah. That's why you can't get into the West End. I mean, for those of you who don't live in the United Kingdom, the West End of London is like the best bit, the upper class bit, where the best clubs are. Yeah. And unfortunately, some clubs or most of the clubs will not allow black people in, especially the higher end market. The ordinary clubs, yes, but the high end clubs, they will not let black people in. There's always a problem there, particularly, especially black women. I mean, there's been a certain club back in the day that was actually notorious, infamous for not letting black women in. And there was a big thing in the media as the black women were protesting and it was on the news channels and whatever. So, the conversation reverted back to this. The security guy, not even one of them, everyone was just all together saying, you see, that's why they don't want to let black people in clubs. That's why they don't want to let black women in club. You're a disgrace to black people. Look what you're doing. What are you doing that for? Then she went to some kind of protest. I don't know what happened to her shoes. Her shoes were not on. Yeah, and she was saying she wants to see the manager, and they was trying to pull her, and she grabbed onto the banister, and the fucking bouncer, a different bouncer, because that first bouncer was kind of just like kind of a small guy, slim, about 5'7" or something. But the next guy is like 6'1", 6'2". Yeah, he was trying to pull her. She wouldn't release the railings. No matter what they were doing, they couldn't get her up. She was doing all kind of protests. Yeah. So here we have it again. Yeah. Park apes. Just like Obsidian was saying, always want to mash up everything, spoil everything. Yeah. Like I was in this club. I was actually working in this club in when was that? 2016. It was 2016, 2017. Shit. You see that drink there? That's pomegranate. So I kind of what's the word? Got the juice out of the pomegranate, put some brown sugar in it, put some water in it. Yeah, put it in a glass bottle, put it in the fridge. And it's like now it's fermenting. It's starting to taste like alcohol. I don't drink alcohol. Yeah, it's starting to taste like beer. You know what I mean? Man's starting to feel a bit like I'm getting a bit of a buzz. But that's a different story. Yeah. So I was working in this motherfucking club. Yeah. And the story is always like, oh, they don't want to let black people in. Everything we have, they close it down. Racist, 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 racist. Yeah. So working in this club, and it was like a black night. Yeah, it wasn't even a black club. And trust me, when I tell you, black people, you're lucky if they let you have an event in a club, because images, black people can do something bad, the club will lose its license, so they don't let black people have events. Yeah, so they was lucky enough to get this event. This is what happened. These people came in there and they just took the place down. I mean, shut down. They're not kidding. Yeah, shut down. They weren't kidding. They took over this fucking club. Yeah. I think they was filming a music video or something. But it wasn't supposed to be that. It was just supposed to be an ordinary event, an ordinary kind of rave. But they had a secret agenda to film a music video or something, or a movie or something. Yeah. And it was like, what was happening? I think guys had the hood on. Yeah. So someone said to the DJ, "Can you tell the people to take the hoods off?" This funny look just came in his eye. Yeah, and he didn't do nothing of the sort. Yeah. Then it was like, then he went on the mic. He said, basically, if we can't do what we want to riot, if we can't do what we want to do, let's riot. But there's a way they say it, like the world's coming to an end. It's the smallest little thing, but they turn it like, this is life or death. We're willing to die. So it was like, yeah, if we can't do what we want to do, riot. Yeah. So that was the mood the DJ set. So then they started filming this video. Then they started basically throwing champagne. Yeah. And then some other goons, gangsters, call them whatever you want to call them, rushed the door. So then they got in past the security. Then they started smoking skunk marijuana. Yeah. And the floor was just champagne bottles. No one would listen to the security. Then after a while, it was like the security had to listen to the gangsters because they didn't have enough security anyway, because I don't think they knew what it was going to be. So maybe they had 6 security. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. They definitely didn't have more than 8 security. Yeah, so these people just took over this club and done what they wanted to do, trash the place. The only thing that the DJ did say, the MC did say, he said, buy up the bar. Yeah. So he's thinking we're gonna do what we want to do, but as long as the club makes money through sales of alcohol, then they can't really say nothing because they made their money. That was the psychology. So he said, buy up the bar, make sure you buy up the bar. Yeah. But they took over, threw champagne bottles on the floor, brandy bottles on the floor. The whole place was just wet. Yeah. Then the police came. The police decided, well, they couldn't do nothing. Yeah. And then the police went away. Then it was like at the end of all of it, a guy was asking if he could rent the club. And when the manager said no, he couldn't believe it. I mean, how stupid are black people? You've gone to this club, you've destroyed everything. Yeah? The staff, the security, everyone was scared for their life. Then you think they're gonna rent the club to you again for the same thing to happen again. I mean, like they say black people have got a low IQ, man. It's not a fucking joke, man. I really learned something that night. Yeah. So, I mean, are they pork apes? I don't know. But Obsidian would probably say yes, they were. Yeah. So, like I said, that was something I'll never forget. You know what I mean? And anytime they go anywhere, they just want to spoil it. Yeah. I mean, there was another club in London, and there's always problem there. There was always problem because that club wasn't in the center of London. That club wasn't in the West End. That club was in the northwest of London. It wasn't the center of London, because they wouldn't rent them the club in the first place. Yeah, but this club I'm talking about now was actually in the West End, and it was like there was always fights. At the end of the night, there would always be fights. I mean, not one fight, fights. And what I think they were having such a good time because everything was okay until it was time to go home. So I think they would literally start fighting to stay to stay inside a bit more. I mean, and then even when they went on the street, they would never like go away, disperse, go home. They'd literally be on the fucking street for like an hour plus outside the club, smoking skunk marijuana, looking for trouble, hit and run. I mean, literally hit and run. I see a guy hit and run. What he done, he was driving the car. The people he was having an argument with was on the pavement, and it wasn't even like an argument about anything, just silliness. So he drove the car. They were on the pavement, and he done a thing. He whipped the car. So he drove the front of the car past them, then he whipped it. So like the door hit them. You know what I mean? The doors hit them, not the front of the car. The doors hit them, and then the car drove up the road. Now in the old days, somebody would be concerned that a camera had seen the number plate, yeah, and they'd be arrested, and they'd go to prison. Their life would be ruined, and they wouldn't see their family, and they'd lose their job, and they'd lose their house. That was the old days. Now, what they do now, their car drives up the road a little bit, then they get out of the car, they park the car, they walk back down the road, and they say, "What? What? What?" So that's what they done. What? 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 Then the guys shouted back a bit, then they got in a car and drove off. Every night, I mean, literally every night there was fights. Yeah. Then eventually, that club got closed down. But um, in the end, it wasn't closed down because of black people. Yeah. The club finally wasn't closed down because of black people. Yeah. It was closed down because of other people. from Europe. Is it the Adriatic? Yeah, I think it's Adriatic Sea. People from this region. Yeah. So yeah, like I'm saying, so wherever they go, they want to mash everything up. But back to what Obsidian said. So he's saying they spoil everything. Yeah. And they always want everything to be down. Everything's got to be at the lowest. Yeah, I mean, like this guy who killed Nipsey Hussle, Shitty Cuz. How can you accept the name Shitty Cuz? Your name is Shitty. You respond to Shitty. 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 And you turn around. You think it's your name. You must be a fucking asshole. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. That's what he's saying. They go to the mall, they trash the mall. They go to a few. I mean, he's right, Everywhere they go, they just cause problem. Go to the mall, want to mash up the mall. Yeah. There's a funeral. Go to the funeral. Everyone's at the funeral is vying, to be the center of attention. So they start fighting at someone's funeral. That's like animals, man. Yeah. Fucking animals want to spoil everything. Yeah. So the question is, was Obsidian right? I think Obsidian was more or less right. I mean, it was a bit extreme for my liking, the interview, but on the whole, he was right. How can you argue with him? Yeah. And then when you try and get away from people like that, niggas like that, then they say, oh, you're a sellout, you're Uncle Tom. But, you really just have to keep away from these people. Well, they'll kill you. Okay, DJS and I'm out.